Benny feels deeply and personally victimized by the fact that we chose to give her another sibling. I mean that with my whole chest.
Personally traumatized by the fact that we decided to give her another brother. I mean it with my entire bosom. When other infants or tiny kids come around and they attempt to sit on my lap, she forcibly removes them. So, we are ready to destroy her day. That pregnancy announcement drew various replies. One in particular on TikTok by Libby Lowe. Thank you for making it a simple handle, by the way. They created a reaction that I simply appreciated. Let's have a peek. I'm not a comedian, but I know that there is a joke in there somewhere after witnessing Kelce's pregnancy announcement and her lovely children that look precisely like her husband Jason. Kylie needs to bring pants for Kylie in this pregnancy, in this kid. Oh my word, but they're all lovely. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We are so blessed that my husband creates lovely females, that if you simply make them into a young girl, that we've produced adorable ones. Because when you look at Wyatt's newborn photographs and Jason's baby picture side by side, it appears like we have cloned him. And I'm on a lot when Wyatt came, because it appeared like I had nothing to do with it. If I had not pushed her out personally, I would not think that I had any involvement in producing her. Then I got Ellie, who now the internet has run away with the fact that she looks like Travis, which I am rather upset by. I will share with Queen Emma a snapshot of myself from when I was a youngster. I was blonde, I had one dimple. I very much feel as if Ellie could pass for looking like mom. So if we could get off the entire Ellie looks like Travis bandwagon, that would be very welcomed. Because that's the only one I have any chance of having any claim to when it comes to looking similar. Let's see. What juror's still out on the fourth one, but Benny is clearly another Jason resemblance. So believe me, Libby Lowe, I am trying frantically here to produce a kid that bears any likeness to myself. On a more positive side, individuals in the comments did acknowledge that their sons looked like them. We don't have that recipe, therefore number 2 question is not going to lie after all. So, can you be honest about pregnancy? Yes, I can. I constantly say, I am so extremely thankful to be able to become pregnant, tremendously grateful. I have learned in my adult life that it is not as simple to become pregnant as we were first led on to think in high school. Okay, you can't simply look at someone and boom, there it goes. It's not that simple, and thus I am so extremely thankful to be able to become pregnant. But it is a means to a goal. When I tell you that I cannot bear being pregnant, I mean it. I'm not having a great time. I feel nauseated throughout most of my pregnancy. It tapers down a bit after the first trimester for every single one. It's been the same, tapers down a little bit, but I continue to suffer nausea throughout my pregnancy. I have experienced aversions more than urges during every pregnancy. When you're incredibly pregnant and someone comes up to you and asks, "Isn't this just the most beautiful thing ever?" I want to smack you in the face. I'm not going to, but I want to. I know that it's a female every time. I've known this since we found out Ellie was a girl, Benny, and this baby. I have known both times that they were females. Again, we've never done a gender reveal. I'm not big on gender reveals because I do believe there's always some degree of prejudice, whether you know it or not. To be fully frank, when we found out we were expecting Ellie, and Ellie was a girl, I wept for a good 30 minutes. I'm not talking about just that I was sad. I'm talking about a full, heaving weep for 30 minutes because I felt different at the beginning of that pregnancy, and I had somehow persuaded myself in my subconscious, not even intentionally, that it was a boy. And so when I learned that it was a female, I just lost it. And I don't, to be clear, I retained just the tiniest amount of guilt about it because then we met Ellie and she was the loveliest, most gorgeous young child, and she still is. But there's always this underlying, you sort of tilt in one direction. I usually tell folks we want healthy kids. Everyone assumes we went for a fourth to try, for a boy. I knew we were going to receive a daughter, therefore I want healthy kids. I've shared on my TikTok that I experienced a loss before Wyatt, and so it made pregnancy a different experience for me. So healthy babies, that's what it is. That's what we're searching for. But I do not enjoy being pregnant. It's not enjoyable. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Since I have not had the pleasure of experiencing a ton of desires, I would love to learn what some of yours are. I do found, particularly this pregnancy, that sometimes when people mention something, typically it's not a crazy pregnant hunger, it's simply a certain meal that I then want. It maybe kick off some cravings. So tag me on TikTok with any of your pregnant cravings. I want to see what they are. Maybe we could even try some out. Our account is at NGL with Kylie. And if we don't test them out, at the very least, we can speak about them on the program and maybe get an early response for some truly strange ones.